believe we are live. Yeah, we're live. Okay, sorry about that. Hi, welcome to Tangent Podcast again. You see Ejon, ascending the staircase to stardom and success. He's real excited about it. Welcome back to Tangent Podcast. I know we say it every time, but it's been a while. Little stuff happens. Welcome back. Hope you're having a decent year. Summer's about to begin. As the episode says, it is the dawn of summer.
It is.
And thank God COVID's ending. And I think we're both vaccinated, or you've gotten your first shot?
I am finally vaccinated.
Fully vaccinated. That's great. I got mine about a month ago. So.
Yeah, I am. I got mine I finished mine in April. So I'm finally done. I've been enjoying life, freedom for a month.
It's been nice being able to go to places and not worry about it, Being like, man, I don't have to worry about getting a deadly disease. Nice.
Yeah, the best part is going home to see your sick family members or people who are pretty vulnerable. And it's hey, give
and
them
not
a
feeling
hug.
guilty,
Yeah,
that's nice.
I can give them a hug without having to worry about I'm going to give them COVID.
I'm going to kill them, yeah.
Yeah, instead it's just anything else I might not know of.
Yeah, it's I could have the flu on me. You could wreck their body. It's it's back to pre-COVID times.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, the last year has felt so long, but so short at the same time.
It's long because it was so drawn out in the parts I hated, but short because there weren't enough good things in it that makes it memorable.
Yeah, it's hard for me to remember a little bit what it's like pre-COVID, but also all the memories are right there being damn, this time sucks. It feels like forever, but I remember what it was like before vividly. I want to go back to my campus, even though I won't be able to, because, okay, little side tangent.
Yeah, you will. You will.
Well, okay, listen, but they're handling my graduation oddly. I was told, because I have 2 classes this semester, because I thought it was 1, but my advisor said, oh, you take another elective, and I was like, oh, fine. So, the other elective, I think I'm taking a geography class, but it's not easy.
Okay.
But then I have my capstone class, which
Wait, I have
is...
a question.
Huh?
Oh, no, go ahead. I just was wondering why geography when you can do something.
Oh, because I enjoy maps, and I enjoy geography, and I enjoy... It's just a little hobby of mine.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't take a history class if I could, but it wasn't in the areas I could take. It was supposed to be semi-business related, and geography and political borders is kind of business related. So
yeah, that makes sense.
But as I was saying, my other class is a capstone class, sort of accumulation of everything I've done for these 3 years I've been in college. Ooh.
Burp it out.
Oh, I did it right before this. But it's a bit odd because we're doing this CapSim thing. It's essentially where you run a company against the other group members. There's 6 groups. So we're group number 3 or whatever. And we have to compete with the other teams to try to be the best group. And your grade is dependent on it. So if you do bad in the competitive simulation, your grade turns out bad. Whoa, what's happened to the music?
I don't know. I just noticed the music wasn't going up.
Whoa!
Is it loud?
It was really loud for me. If you want to adjust it yourself, go on the left side where it's gray to your personal volume. I keep it low on global because having rewatched it, it's really loud. In the
maybe I can't hear the
recording.
Okay, now I get it. I think it's just my volume with Google Chrome.
It sounds fine to me.
Okay.
Anyhow, as I was saying, do I? Yeah, I do. Sorry, I was checking on my teeth. So my grade's dependent on competing against these people. And it's a little stressful because my team members aren't amazing. And if any of you are watching, I know you're trying your best, but you could log in to try to help me out more because I do almost all the work.
He's calling you guys out.
Because how it works is in your company you sell 5 different products in 5 different markets. The markets are high-end, low-end, traditional, performance, and size. Size is selling a lot of something. Performance is it lasts a long time. High-end is high-tech, low-end is low-tech, and traditional is just middle of the road. So you got to sell in all 5 of those markets, and you have to manage your performance, size, the mean time before failure, your marketing, your human resources, your production capacity, automation, finances with stock and loans and blah 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 blah. Lots of stuff. So I do almost all of it because my team members take forever to do anything. Like I'm like, hey guys, it's Wednesday afternoon. We just had our last class for the week. Would you guys mind getting your work in by like tonight or tomorrow before, so we could look over it over the weekend? And then like Sunday night happens, and one of the team members is like, yeah guys, I'm sorry, I've been working all day. I'll get it done by midnight. I wake up the next morning, I haven't done their work, and it's class day, so I just do it. Yeah. And I've gotten kind of used to that, so that's why I just do it all myself mostly now. And I'm like, hey guys, this is what you could actually do to help me. And some of them do log in and help me out, which I appreciate. But a lot of them don't. Especially this one guy who keeps traveling. Like, beginning of the semester, he was like, oh yeah, sorry guys, I can't help you out that much. I'm moving to Colorado. And it's like, okay. Cool. And we talked to him a little bit, and I was like, so what are you moving there for? He's like, I don't know. And we're like, what do you mean I don't know? And he's like, I just decided to move to Colorado. It's like, do you have a job lined up there? No. Do you have friends there? No. Do you have any money? Yeah, I have like $500. And we're just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Dude's living a life. He's
and like and for like a week straight, because he drove there from Florida.
Wow.
When he was in class, his camera was a face-up shot of him driving.
That's so cool.
Oh. And then there's a weekend in between, and he helps out a bit on the online CapSim or whatever. And then we're like, hey, can we meet Tuesday afternoon to go over our group project or whatever? And he's like, oh yeah, sure. And he shows up like 20 minutes late, and we're like, so what took you? And he's like, oh, sorry, I'm in Delaware. And we're like, didn't you just move to Colorado? And he's like, yeah, I want to go see my friend in Delaware. Just to say hi to him. Not even for a reason, just to go see him. And we're like, how do you have the money for that? It's like, oh yeah, I spent like most of my money coming here. I'm just going to live with him for a while. And it's like, but what about Colorado? He's like, oh yeah, I still got to like pay rent for the place I got back there. But like, I'll get back there eventually. And it's like, this dude's just not say he's so nonchalant about it, dude. He just doesn't he does not give a fuck.
I like him.
Yeah, he's a pretty decent guy. But yeah, my class is all right. But the weird thing is it's split in two halves. So I have one class right now, and it's a 6-week one, which I don't like that much because it's so accelerated. And then second half of summer, I'll have one class, so I have a lot of free time, which is good, but also kind of bad because I feel aimless a lot. But one thing that really pissed me off was I requested this class to be face-to-face because I wanted to go back to my campus one last time before graduation. But the few days before the class began, they changed it to fully online. So, sucks, especially because I already paid $80 for parking, and it's not refundable.
Yeah, no.
So, yeah. But you've graduated, right?
That's right. I have finally graduated University of Central Florida in Orlando, also known as UCF, in that order. And I graduated with my BA in digital media, web and social platforms, and looking for a job. I'm just doing my job, looking for jobs, and looking for internships, all that stuff. And just kind of enjoying the summer. Honestly, the biggest thing I gotta say, I'll say this semester, worst semester I have had in my entire college career.
Really?
Say that. Yeah, I mean, despite the fact that I graduated, I'm not gonna lie, in terms of like emotional, like mental, and like the amount of work I had to do, like I had more stressful semesters, but this was just like clearly the worst for reasons both in the classroom and outside of it. So I didn't like it at all. But actually, it was to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm done with like work. I'm done with school. I'm just gonna take 2 weeks off for finals so I can focus on that and then live life. Mm-hmm. Because I realized that I have not got to enjoy college at all. I graduated with no debt, so like that was hard as hell to do. But after all of that, I didn't really get to enjoy myself. Really, like there were some points where I did, but I didn't have a car to really go into places. I didn't really have any friends in Orlando that I got to meet and like just talk to. And I was pretty much stuck in this stupid room like 24/7 for the past, well, not 24/7, maybe like 16/7 for the past year. So it was not fun. And because of that, I basically made it to the point where I was like, I need to get out. I need to get like talk to people. I need to talk to a professional. And I need to talk to a career counselor to figure out my future. Because I was basically like looking at it at the end of it, like after the amount of stuff I had with like, you know, relationship and my personal, like I had like a whole rebirth, not rebirth, but like a whole like, what you call, interpersonal arc, personal redemption arc, whatever.
A reinvention, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And after like a lot of work on it, it's like painful, but worth it, but still painful. And I will say that now that I'm actually out of it, the good thing that has happened is that ever since I've been getting out of my degree, I've just been like going to coffee shops, going to like places to meet people. It has been nice. My wallet is draining out, but I know how to manage it, but it's still nice. And because of it, I'm just kind of like happy I'm out of school. That's the best way to describe it. Like, I'm glad I did it, but I'm not gonna lie. When I was really considering like getting a graduate degree and all that, I just looked back into how I felt the past 2 years, and I just said, no, there's nothing that a graduate degree can give me right now at this point that'd be worth going through all that hell and worse.
Right now, yeah.
But like, what am I gonna do? Get a scholarship to do all that again? No. That was painful. But yeah, now I'm happy to be out. I'm just enjoying the music, you know, meeting people, and
yeah. If you could like speak up a little bit, that'd be nice.
Oh yeah, probably my point is low, but I'm enjoying the freedom, getting out, all that stuff, and I think because of that, that's why I'm in a good mood lately.
Yeah, I mean, like, I went through a similar thing, like, what, 2 years now? Where, like, I just felt like my life was fucking collapsing around me. And, like, through that tribulation, you come out either broken or stronger. And I'm thankful to say I think we both came out better for it, you know? You feel like it's just this, like, zen almost, where you're like, I don't know, you just feel like you don't give a shit about what caused you problems anymore. You're just like, I'm past that now. Like, you can be happy finally, you know? I feel it's really hard to describe, you know?
I will get there soon. I know that for sure. I think like before, it was my problem was that I didn't have the belief that I could ever get there, or I felt like this is just life. I'm just gonna have to accept being this crappy self. And now I'm like, I'm not that crappy, and things are gonna get better. I can believe it, at least personally. So
and that's a great attitude to have.
Yeah. So like that's why I think that's why I'm a little bit better in this position where, like, okay, you know how I would act kind of more happy and, like, do stuff like this when I'm with you instead of public?
Yeah.
I've been doing that now in public, and I really didn't care. Yeah, that has been, like, a hard one where, like, at one point I was, like, talking to a random, like, old guy, and I was just like, so, sir, what are you doing today? And the guy was like, well, I'm on my work, and I was like, cool, what do you do? And that's the kind of stuff that I would not, like, 2 years ago, or even just, like, 6 months ago, I'd be like, are you high? Are you on crack?
But it feels nice to just, let down your walls and be you know? Just be just like, who cares? I'm gonna do what feels good, you know? And it's not being selfish, it's just being, like, true to yourself, you know?
Yeah, you're being more honest. You're not as, like, so stuck in your mind, like, God, everyone's like, you suck, blah, 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 blah. I was like, no. It's like, okay, all that negative talk, I basically learned to the point where it's like, you can just shut up now. I don't need to hear from you. Papa don't need you anymore.
Yeah. And it makes you enjoy life for, you know, for like, I used to be so much of a pessimist, but then I was just like, why? What does it get me? You know, just be like, everything sucks, life is horrible. It's like, no, life can be bad, but it can be better. You just gotta work at it, you know? You gotta, like, a big thing that I've been looking into recently is the mental like how your mind affects your body, you know? I think it extends to your life as well. Like the placebo effect, the nocebo effect, it's a huge discussion.
Yeah.
But like your mind affects your body in huge ways. And I think your outlook on life affects your life to a huge degree as well. I think if you go into it with a positive outlook and try to be yourself, you're going to end up at least happy. You might not be uber successful, but you'll have a fun time. And that's the biggest thing for me, at least.
Pretty much. Like, I think, well, my biggest thing is that while I don't think in general, I think things are going to get more rocky and worse in terms of the environment.
Yeah.
But my inner environment, I realize that I need to master this part, or at least this is the most important part I can really
Control.
It's the one that I have affects my life most. So once I understood that, I was like, okay, I'm going to withdraw a little bit in a sense, and where I put more of my priority here and those around me. And with that, I found a little bit more solace in living life in the 2020s, and that's good. So now I'm basically making plans of things I want to do in the next 10 years, the next 5 years, and what are my goals and what I'm going to do to get there. And because of that, it's a lot more freeing. I even changed up my wardrobe a bit. As you can see, I got a new shirt. So
yeah, I mean it's real good to see. You know, I always did worry about you because you were always so pessimistic and you always overworked yourself. And I'm like, John, you're gonna burn out. And it seems like you actually did burn out. But at least you survived.
Yeah, no, I burnt out, but it's how should I say? Whenever I do, I usually come out with some kind of lesson in the end of it to make it so I can come back faster, or if not better, don't burn out again. Because one day wiser. That's how I.
Yeah, I mean that's a great attitude to have. And speaking of self-improvement, I've been going to the gym lately. For the first time really ever. I didn't really ever go to the gym before, and oh my god, it hurts. And I'm going with my dad so he can show me the machine so I don't kill myself on him. And he's like, it's to be expected because you've never really done it before. You're gonna hurt a lot. And after the first day, we did arm exercises. It hurt. If I'm sitting on the floor and using my arms to push myself up, I wobble and it hurts. Like my arms are broken. And I went for 4 days. Oh god, it was hell. And I made sure to not do it as much next time we started doing legs. But I mean, even now, because we did arms last time, maybe muscle I exercise the most is this one right here. I forgot what that's called. But I did a lot of exercise on it, and I also figured out that I've been filling my body with estrogen.
Estrogen? How?
Yeah, I assume because it's okay. My dad went to the doctor and they're like, your blood work is terrible. What are you doing? And he's cutting out processed food stuff from his diet, trying to eat a little better. But he also discovered another thing. He has a genetic trait where his body processes red meat like beef into estrogen. So every time he eats a cheeseburger, he gets filled with estrogen. And that's why his body pushes fat into certain places that normally go on a woman. That's the reason he and I both have man boobs, because of estrogen in our bodies. So I'm basically cutting beef almost entirely out of my diet. I have it maybe once or twice a week. And I'm already
vegetarian?
No, I enjoy the
I'm just saying. I'll tell you this, if you do it, man, I'll do it with you.
Listen, maybe eventually. But for right now, I enjoy the taste of chicken too much.
Okay.
But I've been noticing a change in myself. I think I've lost a little bit of weight along with the exercise. I think it's getting me starting to be a little more healthy, which I'll enjoy, One thing that's going to be odd, though, is I'm already built, huge. So I don't think I'm going to become a little stick guy. I just think I'm going to put on muscle, which will be fun because I want to be a big jerk,
dude. That's my goal basically.
Yeah.
I basically thought I can't make myself be a thin, skinny boy. Well, what does my body do well? Well, it learns to pack on a lot of muscle and fat. Okay, I'm gonna figure out how I can work with this and make it.
Be one of those professional weightlifter bodies where they're not super ripped, but you can see the muscles on them, but they're big,
Yeah, no. I'm perfectly fine if I can basically be I wear a t-shirt and everything's like, okay, no one wants.
He's
to
a
see
normal
that.
guy. You whip off the t-shirt, they see the muscle, like, oh wow.
Like you see the chest and the arms are like, what the?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Like, boom, boom. Like, okay, if you ever seen Air Gear, all right. Like if you've seen my boy Bucha, he's basically like this big old fat black guy. But like the moment he gets serious and takes off his shirt, he's like, and then you see all his like upper body, he goes completely ripped. And sometimes when they really want to make fun of this guy, he becomes like a Dorito. It's just ridiculous.
Oh my god, this guy is huge.
Yeah.
Wait, let
Put it on the.
let me pull this up. Yeah.
Gotta put it on
let me
the
get
screen.
let me get 2 pictures up and they show the real difference. Dude,
Yeah.
when he takes off his shirt. Okay. Let
It's
me
like-
get OBS. Is this still?
It's like, yeah,
No.
it's probably one of my favorites.
Wait, I pull on to desktop.
Yeah.
You can't really see it, I think, but
Oh, it had to maybe pick up the stream.
yeah, it'll be like a few second delay. But you see here on screen. Let me F11 this. You see, we have him here in his shirt with his. Are those like? What are those on his feet? They look like mini tanks.
I don't know, man.
And they got like headphones on, like kind of fat guy. He's got real big pecs too. But then we get
Yeah.
the second photo. Look at this dude. He is big and tough and strong. He's kind of like he's just huge. Like his gut is still huge. But this guy could fist fight bears.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of body I want.
Yeah, more or less, if I can get that, I would be fine. It's just like I really wouldn't need anything else. I'm good with just that right there.
Wait, here's a great one. I got a gift.
Hmm.
Oh, wait, okay, yeah. He's like tearing apart like a metal door or something like that, and like clawing through dirt. Yeah, this guy's huge.
No, I'm kidding. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. But I like him. That's what I mean. Beyond that, like in the show, he's like really, he's a real professional.
Yeah, yeah.
But
oh, go ahead.
overall, I like Air Gear, and I want to have like big old. I want to basically be like the equivalent. Okay, actually, okay. This is a good story about like a time how I was like hanging out with people. So I'm at this coffee shop, and it's like late at night. It's like maybe midnight, because I just like staying up late at these places. And as I'm there, I was meeting up with a couple people that I was just talking to randomly, and eventually became little acquaintances or buddies. And as one of them, like their girlfriend was there, she was like, said like, "Yo, you look like a bear," and it's like, really? And I was like, "You're like the third person this week that has told me that," and it was so like big for her that she said it later on. It's like, haha, yeah, you really do look like a bear. Look at your like face, your arms, like, okay. I guess I look like a big old brown bear to her, but that's more or less the kind of like, I guess, image I want to project in some way. But
Yeah.
I'm already doing that already, just with more
Yeah.
muscle.
Yeah. People tell me that too. That like, oh, you're like a big bear, and then my brother calls me like, oh yeah, you like look like a big bear, but you're just like a soft teddy bear. And I'm like, and then like all my friends look like, oh, you look homeless, and it's like, great. And
Yeah.
they tell me like if I take off my glasses, my headphones, they say I look really homeless. Watch.
Can you like scrabble your hair a bit more?
Ugh.
Okay,
I can't
that's a
see.
little better. For a moment, you look like you had the like school shooter vibes, or like the hentai protagonist vibes.
Yeah, with my hair out front. Yeah, like. Oh wait, no, like
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh shoot. I feel like there's a Naruto character that looks like that, but I don't know. I never watched Naruto.
I never watched Naruto. Well, I watched
Yeah.
like a little bit when I was like a kid, but that was like the first few seasons. I barely watched them.
The same here. Well, not as a kid, but just older. I was like, okay, this is okay. I like it, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know what? I was just thinking about it now. Like, part of me kind of thinks like, are they calling me like I look like a bear because I just look like a bear, or they think that I'm gay now?
Yeah, I was thinking like, do you know that that's like a like gay terminology term? Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, when I look at what bear looks like in the gay community, it's like, I guess I would be one if I was gay, but I'm not. So this is just kind of
Yeah, same.
I have to be careful. I just have to wonder.
You have to be careful, like how you answer that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like who's asking me that question?
Can you explain what you mean by that first?
Yeah, that's a good question.
But speaking of people who are jacked, this ties a nice segue into games I've been playing recently, and the protagonist of said games. I'm gonna pull him over on the main screen here. Kazuma Kiryu, main protagonist of the Yakuza series up until 7, is jacked. He is really buff and he's got a cool dragon tattoo on his back. Really cool guy. I can show you a normal photo of him as well in his normal suit, where he just looks like some guy. But I've been playing the Yakuza games recently. I started with Yakuza 0 because it's the prequel game. And the series is incredibly fun. It's kind of like a beat-em-up style game, but it's like 3D instead of like the traditional 2D style. The reason I like it a lot is because fun combat, good music, good graphics, but most importantly, really good story. And the games are really cheap too. I think Yakuza 0 is like $10 on sale right now. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, it's on PC, PS4, Xbox. And it's like at least like 50 hours of content, and that's if you don't do most of the stuff. Because there's so many mini games and side content. Like there's 100 sub stories in that game, which are like little side quests. And it's not just like, oh, go get me 10 bear hides. It's like, oh, my daughter's been abducted and indoctrinated into this cult. Can you break in and pretend to be one and get her out? You think you just like bust down the door. But the protagonist comes in, pretends to join the cult, and has to like do all their weird mannerisms, be like, "Shoro pee-pee," and it's like take his hand and do like this. You have to remember the motions, stuff like that. And then you get to the end, you beat the shit out of like Cult Guru, and then as a reward, you get a $5 talisman you could have got from a convenience store, and that's the whole reward. But the reward is doing it because it's funny. Yeah. And one of the reasons I love Yakuza games is because I wish I had the image right now, but it was a meme I saw about the games. It's like a boardroom, like with chairs everywhere. And it's like Yakuza main story. It's like black and white, all serious. And then Yakuza side content. It's like colorful, floral, paint everywhere, fun times. And it's so fun to go from like a side story where the main character gets drawn in to be a like, I'll think one from 2. Where he gets a guy in the street's like, hey, can you come be a voice actor for us? We just lost our main lead for a video game. And he's like, what's a video game? Because it's like 2006 and he was like born in the 60s, so he doesn't know what the fuck that is. And
really?
Yeah, the main character is older. In 0, it's like 1988, so he's like 20. Oh. But in most games, he's like 40 something. So yeah, he gets called old man all the time. It's one of the only games I know where the protagonist is that old, you know? But he gets drawn in, and he's like, "Yeah, you're the protagonist, like Shinji of the." It's like a high school thing, and he got drawn in essentially to do a gay hentai, and you the character have to see this like manly serious man 2 seconds ago, like on a date with this like police woman who wants to kill him but loves him, and like the like Korean mafia's after him. 5 seconds later, he's like, "Oh, Ikari-kun, I love you." Oh. And it's a lot of fun. I've been playing it with I've been playing it with my dad recently, and
you're playing with your dad. That's even better.
Okay, this story is wild. So we were at the beginning of Yakuza 0, right when the like side stories unlock. And we start doing with them, and he's like, "Hey, wouldn't it be great if you guys voice acted this stuff? Because not all of it's voice actor." So like the side stories are usually just text at the bottom you read, and the people like move their fists or like talk on screen. So we do that, and then I know what this side story is. I direct him to go, okay, go over here and start this side story. The side story is called Train My Dominatrix. And mind you, me and my brother are voice acting this. So is my dad, and he's doing the main character. So during this side story, you help a struggling dominatrix learn to abuse men and be a dominatrix. so like the main character, like they go to the children's park nearby. And he like helps her be like, no, you have to say like, you insolent pig, you'd like that perverted shit, wouldn't you? And then you whip him with the thing, and my dad has to say that, and then me as the dominatrix has to act it out and do it, and he just over there like dying of embarrassment. He's like, oh my god, what am I doing with my kids right now? And then the story goes on, and you help the dominatrix. And then, like, the kids in the park are like, "What are you doing over here, mister?" And there's this leather-clad woman with a whip berating you. And then she wants to run because she's embarrassed. And the main character's like, "No, this is how to complete your training. A true masochist would get off in this situation. Humiliate me." And then we're like voice acting the children, being like, "What game are you playing? It's weird." And the dominatrix like, "You're getting off on this, you sicko." And then the side story continues, and you go back to the dominatrix dungeon. She's like, "Oh yeah, let me get you something from my purse and say thanks." And then in walks one of her clients. The main character hides in like a corner so they don't see him, and she starts her session as he's just watching. But then he like slightly adjusts himself because his like back aches, and the client hears him. He's like, "What the fuck, is someone there?" And then he walks out and is like, "Yo," and then the dominatrix is like, "He's gonna watch." And then the like guy who's getting dominated starts squealing. He's like, "Oh yes, mistress!" And then we're like voice acting this as my dad, I think, is just reverting to fetal position, just like being like, "What the fuck am I doing with my life right now?" And it was so much fun. And then immediately after, he's like, "Why did that have to be the one we'd voice act?" I'm like, I knew. I sent you here for this. It was so funny. I loved it so much. But he said immediately afterwards, "No more voice acting stuff." Even though there's like not much, there's nothing that bad in the game. Like most of the side stories are like helping a little kid reconnect with their mom, or like toy racing cars. That's the one exception. I did just fuck with
that's the one you picked out just for him. Feel bad.
But yeah, I really do love those games a lot. I'd recommend people play them. They're real cheap. The one thing that people might not like is it's fully in Japanese and has subtitles. And as someone who plays games in English, it's a little hard to get used to at first, but I've gotten better at reading the subtitles and keeping pace with the gameplay. But the gameplay is real fun, story's good, music's good, and it's really like human. Like Kiryu's this real big like male idolized guy, but he still has emotions. Like for example, at some point in Yakuza 1, his like adoptive father dies because he was an orphan. But his adoptive father dies, and he's just there like on his corpse, just like bawling and screaming like, "Dad, don't leave me. I love you. Please don't go." And it really hits home. Like I teared up a bit at some scenes, especially in Yakuza 3 when. At this point, Kiryu had pretty much given up the Yakuza life. He wanted to go run his own orphanage to leave it all behind because he'd lost too many people. And the pain and death of it all. He gets dragged back into the Yakuza life, of course, because it can never let him go. And a younger Yakuza member named Rikia, who I just called Riki because it's faster, was like following around. Like Kiryu's like 46 at the point, and this guy's like 21. And he was like an idol for him. Followed him around the whole game. Then at the very end of the game, he, spoilers, saves Kiryu's life by taking a bullet for him. And then Kiryu essentially told him, like, midway through the game, like, "You need to leave, you're gonna die. Everyone around me dies. I don't want to see that happen to you." But he still followed him anyways, even though Kiryu, like, because the story takes place in the first half in the Okinawa Islands of southern Japan. And then he goes back to Tokyo midway through the game. He says, "Okay, we're going to go to Tokyo together," knowing he's going to get on a flight in an hour. But he tells him the flight's tomorrow morning, so he'll leave him behind. Dude gets his own flight and comes after him. But he takes the bullets for him, saving his life. And the scene is so much of a tearjerker. Because the voice actor for Kiryu is like S tier. He's so good. And one of the greatest things is you might have seen the meme back in the day. I think this was last year. Let me pull it up. The series got memed heavily.
Besides Baka Mitai?
Yeah. That was a big thing last year. I'm gonna pull it into the... Oh, that's such a good song. I have to pause that up. Oh! It was really loud on my end, sorry. There we go. Okay, let me pull that up. Can I put it above without canceling yours?
I think you can. You just have to go back one using the rewind.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Bakumatai, which got really heavily memed last year. It's one of the, and this is the actual voice actor singing. Dude is really good, and he's sung many songs over the series, but like he has such range, and I really do love this series a lot. I'd recommend playing it. I don't want to say too much more because I already spoiled enough. That's pretty much all I've been playing. I'm currently in Yakuza 4 right now. I've done 0, 1, 2, 3, and I'm on 4, and there's 7 total. So, but the most recent one has a different protagonist, and it's actually a turn-based combat game instead of the beat-em-up style. So, anyhow, but you said you haven't been playing mini games recently. What's that?
I haven't. Honestly, I think, I can't even blame, like, oh, I've been so busy with work and school. Because, like, now I have more time than ever. I think, let me do a little sit right here on this little swivel chair. This is not a great idea. Okay, well, the idea is basically, or the reason I think it is because I don't know, the games I've been playing on my Switch haven't been, like, getting me back into gaming. Like, I have Zelda, and that was fun, but I feel like I need to get the DLC to really jump back into that. Okay? I have Smash Bros. Still need to get DLC, and I think all the things I noticed, like, okay, the games I have, I would have to pay more to really enjoy more content, but I have my, Steam games available, and I think the biggest thing is that lately when I'm in my room, or at least for the longest, I basically try to avoid being in my room as much as possible. And I think out of that, it kind of made it hard for me to get back into gaming. But when I was in my room, I was like, just thinking, watching movies, and it's like, not really doing a lot. Or I was like trying to work on my LinkedIn and my resume and stuff like that. So because of that, I was just like, this is, like that. I think I prioritize anime over games. And because of that, that's why I'm just not really playing a lot of games though. But I have been picking one. Which will be Iconoclast, which I'm almost done. I'm like 80% of the way of the game. It's basically like a I don't think it's a Metroidvania game, but it's like a side-scroller platform game where you're like fighting and enemies and stuff like that. And I like it. The story's good. It's basically like a battle of religion and ethnic cultures and like stuff like that. I liked it. And also, there's another one. This War of Mine, which I sometimes still play, but I can't play it for too long because whenever I do, I just get too invested. And whenever my characters die, I just give up the game. It's like, crap, my best runner just got shot in the skull, and now who's going to go out to, forage for food when, their best friend just got shot, and now everyone's depressed. So I just quit the game.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
That game is unforgiving. Like, it's more realistic. Every time I play, it's like, crap, I don't think I can survive the situation in like a long-term scenario because everyone's just gonna like give up in despair or something.
Yeah, I've got a similar game to that actually. It's called RimWorld. It's kind of like a colony simulator kind of thing, where you have your colonists. Usually you crash land with like 3 people. You have to start from like nothing, build up your base. I'm currently running a challenge run I'm doing for myself, where instead of using all the, cool guns and spacer technology and traps, I'm doing a vegan pacifist playthrough where I'm not allowed to kill anyone and I'm not allowed to have any animal products or meat, and oh my god, it sucks. Like, my people are living in a mountain base right now. We, like, carved out a vault, essentially, and with reinforced walls. And whenever enemies show up, we either just lock the doors and hope they go away, or we go outside with our like tasers and like rubber bullet guns and be like, stay back. And it really sucks because sometimes like a colonist will get like shot in the neck with like a sniper bullet from the enemy. We'll have to drag them inside and be like, oh god, heal him quick, because like if I lose any of them, I'm just gonna save scum and go back. Because like for example, I've got the 2 leaders of the colony. Elise and Lulu. They're the power lesbian couple of my pacifist vegan colony. Elise is the main doctor, and she also handles our crops. And Lulu is she builds most of the stuff and crafts all of our equipment. And if either one of them died, it would probably destroy the other mentally, so I'd lose both essentially. And without them, the colony dies because the other main member is Flint, who is drunk almost 24/7, but he's a damn fine cook. So
okay, so I have to ask you have to ask yourself, Why do you hate yourself, like Jeffrey? Why would you go through all this work?
Because it's fun. It's like the same reason that I eat hot food. It's like
Okay.
it feels nice, but also, oh my god, it sucks. It's like an almost masochistic pleasure.
I mean, if that was the case, I would just say like, hey man, just play like Getting Over It.
Okay, that's like a little much, because at least in RimWorld, like you can get better. Like my colony at the beginning was just like wooden huts, and we were like starving to death. Now we've got a fully like automated vault with like indoor hydroponics. Just before I got off today, I was building android colonists with like with like sub-persona AI programming, like indestructible bodies. I'm gonna throw them at raiders, and they'll just walk up on them and just like punch them in the face.
I have a question. If they kill, is that breaking the pacifist route?
With RimWorld, the combat is if you destroy any organ or deal enough damage, a person will instantly die, no matter what. So I'm going to avoid killing as much as physically possible. Where if I punch a raider and they start fleeing, I cannot go after them. Even though capturing them and selling them into slavery or returning them back to their tribe for goodwill would get me better results, or even just knocking them out and stealing all their clothes and equipment.
Okay, I have a question. I feel like you can still be a pacifist, just like capture. Actually, no, pacifists wouldn't capture someone to return them back as goodwill. Well, they would just let them go, I guess. But I mean, you're still letting them go with just extra steps, and you get like more social cred. Why not do that?
Maybe. I mean, I do have a prison set up right now, but it's like a really luxurious prison with like nice showers and like punching bags and TVs. Because in RimWorld, you can get a prisoner and then recruit them to your side gradually by the warden going in, sitting them down and be like, so tell me about yourself. Well, you want to join our colony? We have hot water showers. I bet your tribe doesn't even know what that is. And the person's like, no. And then it takes like a month in game and they go like, yeah, maybe I do want to live a good life. These people have chocolate. I will join them for that. And then they get to live a great life until they die instantly to a sniper bullet to the eye.
I mean, in all fairness, they portrayed their brethren, so it's kind of like deserved, but...
Yeah. But my most recent addition to that colony, like I said, was androids. And before that was hydroponics, because farming outside sucks, because a raid will come and go, oh, this is your main source of food? You don't have animals? Single torch into cornfield. And it's like, there goes the harvest. Time to go into our deep supplies we keep in the mountain. But the game is pain. But it's also fun because it's like overcoming an almost insurmountable task. And one of the reasons I love it is because in the game there's different storytellers which hand them the random events, like raids or like a cargo pod falling and like giving you stuff, or like a ship crash landing. I always use Randy Random. Other storytellers, they'll be like, oh, as you get more stuff, it'll get harder. Or like, oh, I'm the easy one, so you can just have a nice sandbox experience. Randy has no rules. Randy is chaos. Randy just goes, I'm going to roll a number every second, and if it goes between these numbers of like 100 and 150, an event happens. I will then roll another number to determine which of the 622 events will happen, randomly. And then I'll roll another number to see if another event happens at the exact same time. So sometimes you can go weeks. Randy will give you nothing, and you'll know he's up to something. and then instantly, one morning, when all of your colonists are like out in the fields, like picking up rocks to come back and cut them into stone bricks to make a new house out of, Randy will decide, okay, we're gonna have a toxic fallout come over your area with radiation everywhere. We're gonna have a siege, and to compensate, I'm gonna drop you some cargo pods full of rolls dice. Wooden feet. There's your events. Randy is a hell, but it's fun because unlike the other ones where you can predict things, he's unpredictable, which makes him fun.
Okay, makes it a fun game.
I enjoy the game a lot, but don't play it. Don't play it. It's
I would.
It's like
I'd rather play
crack.
This War of Mine.
Yeah, it's like this War of Mine, but like more addictive. It's like. Because like I'm gonna pull on the screen the graphics of the game a little bit.
Sure, like because with this War of Mine, it makes me feel depressed.
If you see it on screen right now, oh my god, this person's getting fucked up in this screenshot. They're dying right now.
Oh wait.
If you see on screen, although those big things with guns on them, those are centipede mechs. This person's getting raided by mechs right now, and they're just dying.
Oh.
Yeah, anyhow. It's kind of hard to get attached to people a little bit, unless you're with them for a long time. Because they don't even have limbs. They're just little floating people. And here's a picture of like a better colony. I'll pull that up on the screen right there. You can see here, this person's got more of like a castle design. Like, this is the stuff you want to aim for in late game. Even though their design's kind of inefficient. Like, their crop fields are over here for no reason. Why do they have their geothermal vent covered? Like, just put... Oh, it's so inefficient. Anyhow, I'm a real, like, efficiency freak in this game. It's not like this War of Mine, because you can see the graphics. It just has some sort of vibe to it.
Not even that. You have, like, a god view of everything, whereas... Like, okay, it's not like you don't have somewhat of a god view, but, like, you can see all your, like, your resources easily. You can choose, like, when to move your people out. And you got, like, multiple people around. Actually, the good thing about this War of Mine is that it reminds you, like, it's all human. And, you know, actually, I've met someone on Thursday who was, like, Serbian. Born, I think, right during, like, what was the beginning of the Serbian...
Yugoslavian Civil War.
Yeah, the Yugoslavian Civil War and the genocide during like the Caesar Sarajevo. She left, I think, but before when she was a child, like her family left before the war. And honestly, like hearing it from that and also playing the game was just made me think like war is hell. And in some ways, just like the more. It's, how should I say, it would be better if it was brutal and everyone just died immediately, or if it was just not there at all. But the thing that makes it worse is the fact that it's like, you're just sitting here hoping you don't get killed, and your food is drying out, and you know you wish you could have left, but you can't because the ways to get out of the town are just gone. It's like, so much effort and pain. So it's like, okay, that's why whenever I play, it's like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I have to go. I have to do something else.
Yeah, it's like RimWorld's more like an ant colony almost.
Yeah,
it's like a lot of the jokes about RimWorld are like people do war crimes without even thinking about it. It's like, for example, one of the most common ones is you want to kill raiders efficiently because if you don't want them to kill your own people, so you build the one way into your base, the one entrance is a long labyrinthine tunnel of like a brick tunnel. It's dark, there's no lights, you have to go through it to get in. Your own people have their own fortified side entrance, but the raiders will go towards that entrance because they can't see the other one. What you do is with that hidden side entrance, when all the raiders inside the tunnel, go to the other side, hit a switch to bring down a brick wall on that side, and then on the far end, light a fire. And then they will bake inside the tunnel. People clawing at the walls to get out. But you saw the graphics. They're just going to bang on the wall with their little ant arms and just die and burn up and die. If it was better graphics, that'd be horrific.
Yeah.
But because it's a little ant colony view, people do it being like, no, that's the most efficient way to kill them. Or dropping like nukes on their house and just seeing them crawl out with their legs blown off. And being like, oh, okay, shoot them, shoot another one, they're not dead. And there's a huge meme in the community of butchering people for their meat and leather and making people wear the human leather of their enemies.
That sounds like some Tibetan stuff right there.
Yeah, I don't personally do that. You see, I'm doing the hard mode good guy playthrough.
Yeah.
Where you can see why it's the hard mode. Because the game encourages you to be an evil asshole. Because it's the most efficient way to set up your own colony. It's like colonialism. The more evil you are, the faster it goes.
Yeah, but it's also interesting, like how I'm not too sure. Maybe the game designers wanted you to kind of like see the horror of what it's like of colonizing like a new planet or whatever, like what it means. Or maybe they just didn't intend that, and they're just like, oh, this is pretty messed up. I'm not too sure if they made that explicit.
They started with like one dev, and the game's been in like early access for like 10 years. They just got an early access like last year. And he's gotten more people since then. But he's literally, I think, set a record. Like, I didn't expect the shit you people do. He's like, when I made the temperature mechanic, I didn't make it for you to make like semi-gas chambers, okay? I made it to simulate deserts. And like
So, so it's basically not the game developer. It's
just the players playing
yeah.
with the mechanics so much, being like, wait a minute. If I get raided every few days because my colony is extremely wealthy, humans are the best food! It's infinitely renewable! And then the game dev is like, no, that's supposed to be a bad thing! And the people are like, I can't hear you, I'm already making armchairs out of human skin. Oh look, that one's got a lump in it, it's an ear!
You see, it's like the affordances of the system allow you to do things where he didn't intend it to, but...
And at this point, he's like, you know what? If that's how you want to play the game, play the game. But I'm not endorsing that.
Yeah, no, you should like... But he's not going to go any which way. He's just going to be like amazed at how depraved people can be. But it's kind of sad, like... But then again, the whole genre is basically, how do I colonize an existing planet of people?
Yeah, and like the worst shit, like your only rivals really are like pirates and the like Empire. Like those guys are scary because the pirates have no morals. They'll do the same. They'll come with flamethrowers and biological warfare to fuck you up. And the Empire has like, you know, men in powered like marine armor with like plasma guns, and they'll just fuck you up. But like the tribals, they'll come at you with clubs and arrows, and you'll just like launch nukes at them. Or like, oh, they're in the forest, burn down the forest. Have men on the far side to shoot anyone coming out. And it's like, it really shows like technological difference makes you do fucked up shit.
It does. And it's just like, when you have the money and power to do anything, it's like, okay, well, if there's nothing stopping me, then why not do it? It's just I guess that's the thing. They're just doing it out of their own self-interest. So, it's going to make them... But, okay, outside of RimWorld, I feel like there's a lot of stuff we want to talk about.
I can talk about... We can finish up on games and maybe talk about one more thing.
Okay.
What's it called? I have been playing some older games, most specifically Fallout 1 and 2, games that are older than me. Because I've been a fan of Fallout games, you know. I started with 3, I really like New Vegas, 4, blah, blah, blah. But I went back to play 1 and 2, and I'm going to pull up a screenshot of Fallout 1 for you and show you what it looks like. Because this game, I think, came out in... When did this come out? 1997, so it's 2 years older than me.
Okay.
The game looks like this. It's not the best looking game. And this is on a emulator, so the stuff on the side is different, but the middle is what the game looks like.
Yeah. I mean, it's a product of its time, to be honest. It's just looking at it.
Yeah, but I actually really liked the game, honestly.
Really?
And here, I'm pulling a screenshot off. This is a Fallout 2. It looks marginally better. Anyhow, I actually really liked the game because of its storytelling and atmosphere. Like, it really feels like an apocalypse. Like, the music is dark and, like, eerie. Like, one of the first songs you hear is when you leave Vault 13. It's called Vault of the Future. And I'm gonna throw it into the music thing here. But one of the reasons I like it a lot is it fits the tone. And also in the background, because this game's meant to be like a Cold War era type thing, in the background of the game, of the music, at certain points you can hear like radio chatter of like a Russian spy relaying stuff about like the vault of like in the background. And you can just hear the song start right there. But it feels like an apocalypse, and the atmosphere is really great. The storytelling is great. The gameplay is okay. It's a classic, like, combat RPG, turn-based combat, blah, 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 blah. But it's not like a JRPG where you stand in a line, you have to move around a grid and shoot your gun with, like... It's kind of like XCOM, if you've ever seen that.
Yeah.
And Fallout 1 and 2 just have such a different atmosphere than the other Fallout games, and it's something I don't think a lot of modern games do, where it feels unforgiving. It's really hard. Like, I can't count the amount of times in Fallout 1 where I died in a single hit. Because it was a lot. Because I would walk into the desert, and I'd get a random encounter, and it'd be a group of super mutants who were like 8 feet tall monsters, and one would go first, pull out its minigun, and just unload on me and my entire party and kill me instantly. and I'd be like, "Fuck, when did I save?" Because there's no autosaves.
Jeez.
Oh man, it was a lot of fun. I wouldn't recommend playing it though if you don't have patience, because it takes a while to learn. The game's short. Fallout 1, I think I beat in like 20 hours. Fallout 2 was around 35. It was a bit longer. The games were just unique, is the word I'd say. As someone who grew up with games of our era, it felt like using a time machine almost. Like going back and seeing like what my forefathers played in their day, and being like, wow, this is what was fun for them. And then like 2 hours in, I'm like, wait a minute, it's hard, but it's fun. Whoa! It was really good, really good. I've been enjoying playing that. So yeah, but that's the end of the game discussion. Now back to regular music instead of this creepy. This is even the creepiest music. If you're wondering what anyone who's ever played Fallout 1, my favorite song is Flame of the Old World. Great song. It really fit the test vault with the Master in it. The Master was such a cool... Okay, I gotta show you what the Master looks like. He's an abomination. Oh god, he's... Like, if he was made with modern graphics, I think he'd be the most disgusting looking thing ever.
Oh, really?
Let me... Ooh, that's a really cool drawing of him. Here. This is what he looks like, because in Fallout 1, only certain NPCs get a model when you see them. Here's his. This thing moves as it talks, by the way. It's disgusting.
Oh.
Yeah. And then here's his 3D model with his minigun chair. Yeah, and here's a really good thing I just found on Google of an artist's thing of him. Yeah, he's the main antagonist of the game, and he's really good. One of the major reasons I love him a lot is because he has 4 or 5 voice actors, and they each talk like it's like almost like a schizophrenic mind talking. Like they talk, and then another chimes in, then another, and it's like 3 male voices, and then a female voice, and a robotic voice, because he's like melded other people's flesh onto him and stuff. It was so great. But now moving away from that, we can talk about other things, because I can tell Ejon finds the Master disgusting, which he is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's loud.
I'm glad. Yeah, bringing that Sonic colors right.
Yeah, let's just. Oh, yeah. Speaking of Sonic, didn't they?
Sonic.
I'm not too much of a Sonic fan or anything, but I know my brother was talking about it. They're like making a Colors remake after something like that, I think.
Ooh. I haven't played
because there was the 30th anniversary.
Of Sonic?
Yeah. It was a few days ago. Yeah, and there's a new game coming, I think.
Well, oh yeah. I'm just remembering Sonic Generations came in for the 25th anniversary. That's what made it, like, special.
Yeah, they're doing a remake of Colors, and it looks like maybe some other games? I don't know. But there's a new game coming as well. Oh, and there's also some really bad-looking jewelry. They're Sonic Anniversary jewelry.
Jewelry.
It don't look good. Let me pull it up on the main screen. Oh, come on, load faster.
How bad are we talking? Like Sonic the Hedgehog movie, bad, but before
I'll just let you wait to see it. This is official merchandise.
Can't wait for it to load up on the stream, because I'm watching with the viewers right now, too.
Yeah.
Ah, there it is. Okay, I'll say it's not the best, but it's not terrible.
It's not the worst I've seen, but I don't think many people would be wearing that.
I think the problem about it is, like, this is not the kind of thing I would expect from official jewelry.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing I'd expect from like a tacky jewelry site.
Yeah.
Not like Sega approved, you know? Yeah.
Oh no, they're just cheap. I mean, Sega doesn't even care about the fact that Sonic's like the one thing people think about when they think of Sega.
Yeah, well actually, speaking of that, tying back into an earlier topic, according to a Sega exec, like one of their leaked memos, something like that, they're talking about making the Yakuza series one of their big flagships going forwards. Because the most recent game, Yakuza 7, sold like extremely well, especially here in the West, because it was one of the first ones to have a English dub. Yeah. And it's apparently selling better than Sonic games. So
Well, yeah, if you put more effort and fun into Yakuza than like cheap ass like Sonic games that you don't pay attention to, and you just like expect the brand to survive because it's Sonic, then of course you're gonna get that result. I mean, the only good one was the one that was made by the fan developers,
Mania,
Sonic
yeah.
Mania, yeah, and then Generations because it was just recreating all the good parts of the previous games into one.
it was like a best hits sort of thing.
Exactly. So it's kind of like those are the only two good games in recent memory from Sonic. And then
Yeah.
colors and the date, colors, and I think even some people would say Sonic the Werehog, but that's debatable.
Yeah, my brother's favorite games are the Sonic Adventure games, are his favorite.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, Sonic. I'm playing that one right now. Sonic Adventure 2.
I tried playing it, but I kept dying on the first boss, so I gave up.
Oh yeah, that one's hard. I'm not gonna lie.
And then my brother came and was like, "How are you this bad at the game? You just have to
Look.
attack him." I'm like, "Bro, I tried."
They don't make it clear. I think it's just rough on PC.
Yeah.
It doesn't really
Well,
translate
I was
well.
playing it on PS3, so I don't know. I'm just bad at video games, I guess.
Bro, that's the thing I wonder. Like, am I just bad at video games, or are the controls just not intuitive? I don't know.
I don't know. Hey, I beat Fallout 1, and that game is hard, so I think I'm pretty decent at video games.
I feel like I have decent video game literacy. I just some games just don't.
Yeah, they just
pop
don't
up
click,
like-
you know?
Yeah. So
Oh.
I'm gonna be easy on each of us. Like we're not bad.
Yeah, we're not bad at that kind of stuff. Oh, man. Your room has a lot more stuff in it now from last time. Like, your wall used to be almost bare.
It used to be. I added like my fan. I got my little whiteboard. I just write stuff in whenever I need to. Like, I got this idea.
Yeah.
Put it up. But you know, it's pretty nice. Like I've been like staying here for a little bit. It's like okay, I gotta have to make this look kind of something I would want to come back to. But even then, it's like after the past couple of weeks, and I was just like, no, I'm tired of this. I think I just want to. I just want to go outside and talk to people.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think today is the one day I've had in recent memory where I just did not go out at all the whole day. I'm not kidding. Like this is the only day where I was like, no, actually, no, that's not even true. But I didn't go out to another place to like hang out. I just went to get groceries and just stayed here, and that has been. It's been an adjustment. I would say.
Yeah.
Like usually, at one point I was just passing out like at my other like some friend's house, just like relaxing, and I wouldn't like stay at my house over the weekend because I just didn't want to be there. But I think now after a point where I'm like a little bit more comfortable, I just realized okay, I need to just make the place decent and also just find things to do that I enjoy here. Like it's weird. I feel like I'm becoming like the other. Like me in the past would not recognize me today for sure.
Yeah,
It's like,
same. Yeah.
like a year ago, me would be like, "What are you doing? What do you mean?" It's like, watch it. Okay, maybe not a year ago, because a year ago I was in the pandemic, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like, 2 years ago, it'd be like, "What do you mean you're going out all the time?" And it's like, also have a car. It's like, we have a car in 2 years. It's like, yeah, hold up, just wait. Once I got that car, man. Once I finally like, fix my car to the point where I can take it on the highway. Just zoom everywhere around the place. But the thing is old, so I'm looking forward to the day I can save it for a new job, and then get a car, maybe with like a used car for like 10K. That'd be nice.
I got mine for 9. It's been running for 5 years now. It's not the greatest car, but it works, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of cars, I've been teaching my brother to drive, and oh man, that's
How do you feel?
stressful but fun at the same time, because like I worry sometimes. It's like, oh god, we're about to crash. But other times I'm like,
I would worry too,
But-
because you're the.
I'm the one who owns the car, yeah. But other times I'm like proud, because I see him improving, quickly too. Like today, I had him drive here in Jack's. Had him drive down some pretty busy roads over a bridge, and we went out to Jack's Beaches to like 3rd Street and stuff, and that's busy, with all the cars on the side of the road, and that was a bit stressful for him, but he did well, He's at that phase where he's afraid of other cars, so he hugs the side of the road, and he has trouble turning at times, not overturning or underturning. And like, you know, I went through that as well, but it's fun teaching him, but also like incredibly stressful and frightening. So, yeah, it's something.
Yeah, you know, so if my mom watches this stream sometime, thank you for your patience. I will always be thankful for that.
Same to my mom and dad, yeah.
Yeah, because, yeah, no, it was not easy time learning to drive, and I didn't even get to really get practice until, like, 2018. I really got to really, you know, use it a lot more. And when I finally got my car, I'm like, okay, zoom, 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 let me get on the highway. Like, at this point, I'm not afraid of going to, like, downtown Jax or Orlando anymore. It's just more of, like, being aware. But
Yeah.
I'm just not... Before, I was just like, God, I'm afraid of this bridge. I don't want to go up. Now I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm stressed, but I'm going to hope that this bridge doesn't collapse on me.
For me, it's mostly like I gotta pay attention to these people around me. They're insane. Like they don't blinker. They just cut over. They stop. Oh, man.
I like being a grandma on the road just for that reason. Like every time I see a person go like zooming and cutting across, I'm like, I'm going to be so slow that you're going to go around from me. So that way you will leave me alone.
I have like different moods for driving. Sometimes I'll do that. Sometimes I'll be the guy weaving through traffic. You know, it really depends. One time,
people like that scare me, man. You gotta.
Well, it just depends. Like one time, my brother and I were driving up to Virginia, and for like the first hour or two going out of Florida, I was driving pretty normal. Got kind of slow in Georgia because I was like tired. But then when we got to the Carolinas, it was so nothing. Like it was just forest road. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go like 100. And I'm just like drifting down the road, like going around cars, being like,
Dude.
you know, I hope a cop doesn't pull me over because I'm fucked if he does.
Yeah.
No cop
dude.
did. I made it all the way to Virginia going speedster. And then when we got into Virginia, we sang "Take Me Home, Country Roads." Even though that's for West Virginia, we've been driving for like 10 hours at that point straight. So we were so just delirious of it. And then we had a real fun time because in Virginia they have these signs that say traffic is monitored by aircraft. So we're like, they're seeing us speed, they're gonna drop bombs, they're gonna drive faster. Yeah, and I'm surprised I didn't get pulled over or get into a wreck, and I'm sure my parents love hearing that.
I mean, honestly, with the way how you drive, I'm a little bit surprised that a cop pull you over because, like, when I was driving in Georgia in like state roads, or that's when I saw like a bunch of like cops.
There were so many cops in Georgia, yeah, but the Carolinas didn't have that many.
Yeah, Georgia really wants to pull you over for something. They really want to get you.
Yeah.
I was like, at one point, my mom was like on the phone. And I was like, Mom, put your phone down. I don't want a cop to like find the slightest reason to come over.
Yeah.
So, but you know, I like staying in Florida because it's like it's right below the South of America. Okay.
Yeah, Florida doesn't really feel like the South, but it still kind of does, you know. It's like we're part of it, but we're like the redhead stepchild, you know. Like we're not really part of it.
Like I think the moment you go past down Gainesville, after that, it's just like you're in Florida's unique thing.
Yeah, I mean, even in some parts of Jax, you know.
Yeah.
It just depends. But Florida, like, I hate this state, but I love this state, you know. It's
Everyone says that here.
I wish the state was better, but I don't think I'd live anywhere else just because no one, like, having traveled up a bit of the eastern seaboard a little bit, other places suck. They're so static.
I've been to the city.
You know?
I've been to the city parts, though, like, say, Philadelphia or Washington,
Yep,
D.C.
I was up in D.C., Richmond, up in there. Lots of cities in Virginia. We drove all over there. Drove through a few places in the Carolinas, and then we drove past Charleston in Georgia. But, like, I guess I only really saw Virginia that much, but Virginia kind of sucked. It was not as good as Florida. It was so, like I said, static. Like, things felt, like, old. Like how they'd been that way forever. Florida, like, I don't know, it feels new. It feels changing, you know? Like, there's always something happening. In Virginia, because we drove up into the mountains on accident and got lost, and our GPS turned off, and we were hopelessly lost in the Appalachian Mountains for like 2 hours. And we just drove around hoping we'd find the highway before our gas ran out. That was fun. We found a naked truck man who was our prophet and messiah who led us out, like Moses. We never met the guy. He just pulled in front of us off of his farm, and we called him Naked Truck Man because from his silhouette, because he was in a pickup truck. He looked naked from like the top up with like just his bulging muscles in the car driving like this. So we're like, oh, it's Naked Truck Man. And we followed him for like a good 45 minutes, and then he turns off right before the highway and just turns around. And it's like, Naked Truck Man is our Moses. He led us back to the highway. We can get home now. Oh man, but driving around that area, it just felt old. You know, it felt like things wouldn't change. And that's why I love Florida. Just because I feel like the state is kind of like the swamps, you know? It's like, it looks different on the surface than what it is below, you know?
I feel like I would say the further south you go in Florida, it definitely changes a lot.
Yeah.
Not kidding. Like, the further down you go, like in Orlando, or when I was in like Miami.
In Miami's wild. Yeah.
Miami's wild. Like, honestly, I don't think I would be able to stay there for too long just because of. I just think, like, for me, Miami's. It's not like I don't like the change or the pace. It's just that it didn't feel welcoming. It was just kind of more of like, you better figure out how to survive here or we'll cut your neck off.
It's kind of like a southern New York City almost.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, like you better figure out your place here because there ain't no place for you to just sit around and do nothing and watch it all go by.
I mean, it's definitely not like Jackson in that regard. Like Jackson, you can take your time and learn to live here. But the further south you go, it's the more like, this is our place, get used to it, adapt to us.
Orlando's a good happy middle, but if like,
Tampa's a bit odd.
Huh?
Tampa feels a little weird almost.
I don't really like going to Tampa. I agree with you. Like, it's own little unique thing, but it's not something that I particularly look forward to going to. I think that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
I would think
the Panhandle is just. The Panhandle doesn't even feel like Florida, really.
No, that's like every time I'm in the Panhandle, I feel like I'm in a mixture of like Louisiana and Alabama.
Yeah, because I mean it's right next to them. You know, it's. I think it's barely even Florida, honestly.
It's not, like, honestly, that can go back to each of those states respectively.
Just like circumcised Florida, just like cut off its balls, just the shaft.
Just the shaft. Dude, that's so bad.
Yeah. I said circumcised when the term is I'm about to say euthanize. God, castrate. No. Yeah,
you got it. You almost got it.
Yeah, close.
Cool.
Man.
What is this? Kuze.
Oh yeah, Kuze. Oh, he was such a cool fight. He's this like old school yakuza who like tries to keep Kiryu down because he's like, you're nothing in this world, boy. And the first time you fight him at the beginning of the game, you kick his ass, and he has to cut off his pinky finger. But then he keeps coming back. It's the epitome of how many times we have to teach you this lesson, old man. And what you're seeing right now in the little video on the jukebox is your second fight with him, where he ambushes you in the sewers as you're trying to escape from the Yakuza because they want you dead. And it's such a cool fight. But by the end, like the first 2 to 3 fights, you fucking hate him. Because he's just there to like fuck you up, try to kill you, go after your friends and family, and just be everything you hate in the Yakuza. But by the 4th and 5th fight, you just like get him. It's like you understand each other. It's like we're not really that different. And it's like we're gonna fight to see which man has the greater pride. It's like some cliche shit, but it's so good. And the music is great too.
Okay. Cool.
So good. So good.
Let's see. Oh, by the way, I have a question. Have you been watching Invincible lately?
Yeah, I love that show.
Okay, great, because I wanted to talk about that with you.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you before for whatever reason, but I finally seen it.
It's really good.
I want to just talk about Amber. Really, that's the only thing.
Why did they have to do that? Oh.
You know what? I think because of that, I just hate Amber now. Like, there's this video from Long Beach Griffey that basically talks like Mark just is finding out that Amber knew this whole time and is getting mad at him for being a superhero.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I get it. Like, he's not the best boyfriend ever, but you gotta understand, you know? It's like getting mad at your, like, firefighter boyfriend, being like, Huh, you were off saving the orphanage instead of coming on a date with me? Get out of here. It's like, whoa.
No, the thing that pissed me off more was when he just saved, like, okay, Mark sees that his best friend is about to get killed by this random
By the, like,
villain.
cyborg guy, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, tells everyone, hey, I need to run back, go get for help. Turns and becomes invincible. Barely survives, like, he's just getting his butt kicked.
Yeah.
And then after he takes care of it, comes around, and then Amber, who knows all this happening, is like, where were you? It's like, oh, I was just looking for help. You went to look for help while your friend was getting killed? How dare you leave us behind? And it's like she's gaslighting him this whole time. She's like, and after that, makes him feel bad, like he did something wrong. And then after that goes and like tries to talk up with this other random boy at the party, who luckily
And
had a
because of all that, what she did, like, Mark's, like, gay best friend guy, his boyfriend, like, fucking dies and becomes a cyborg because she was just being stupid. It's like, whoa.
Granted, she couldn't know anything about that, but it's like,
I know, but the consequences of her action, you know?
yeah, it's like, my goodness. And then after that, she has the nerve to come back at the end of him getting, like, you know, pummeled to death by his father on live TV, and then thrown into the ringer of,
And be
like,
oh, I care about you, I want to check on you. It's like,
no, you do not. You obviously do not care about him, because the writers decided to mess up, like, this character. Like, now I can't like her anymore. I just can't, because they've written her in a way where it's not possible to enjoy her.
I hope they just kind of push her to the side a little bit, because I don't want to really see any more of her.
No, I don't want to. I just want Mark to be like, one day I want Mark to be like, man, Amber, I'm done with you. I'm gonna go hang out with Eve. Like, I don't need you. She's my girl now. I'm gonna.
It's like, you know, she at least gets me. You know, like, God.
Yeah. No, not even that. She went after, like, Mark right
before his big dad fight. Yeah, she's going to look for him. Yeah.
She was like, she went to look for him, and then even before that, she had a thing for Mark when she got into the breakup.
Yeah.
Until, like, Amber was, like, making out with him, which, granted, that made sense at the time.
Yeah.
But even that, Eve at this point is even better than she was at that point, because she's found herself. She's, like, getting to the point where she realized what it means to be a hero for her. She's, like, a positive influence for this man. Like,
which he pretty much needs at this point, because, like, his whole life just got destroyed. Yeah.
Yeah, like, honestly, I just want to say, like, Amber, I don't need you. I'm going to be at the clubhouse with Eve. Like, you don't want to know what I'm going to be doing with her. Just go.
Yeah.
Plus, her power is the best. It's like one of the best powers in that whole
Like, she has broken powers. It's like, if she can just rearrange matter, why doesn't she just put, like, a wall in somebody's chest cavity and just instantly kill them? Like,
you see, that's the thing. She just doesn't know how to use her powers to her full potential yet.
Yeah.
That's really it. Like, if she's that powerful, then she could have killed Omni-Man, like,
just place, like, a sword in his brain.
No,
it's like,
don't even
boom,
need to do that.
dead.
She can just rearrange his whole internal organs and
just flip
break
him.
it.
Just be like, you're dead. You're like lower intestine, your brain's there, now you're dead.
Yeah. It's like, she is a broken character. Mark can only be invincible
Mark
so
can
long
just
as people
punch things
and take a hit. That's it. And
even then, he's not that great at that.
No, yeah, and eventually, no. The thing is, Mark has potential to become like Omni-Man.
Like Omni-Man's like a Charizard. He's like a Charmander.
Yeah,
he could be good. He's just shit right now.
Right. Exactly. So that's why, like, Mark has potential, but Eve's like ceiling doesn't really exist at this point.
Yeah.
It doesn't. She just doesn't know how to use her power.
The only thing
like,
that can counter her is someone with similar or better powers. It's like you need a reality bender, like somebody who can like
just go back in time. Just like
that works too. Yeah.
Just time travel one, or someone could just like manipulate probabilities.
Yeah.
That's like those are the only two things that can really beat her. But even then, that's like they haven't addressed that as a thing.
Yeah.
And then you have Damien Darkblood, which I like.
I really suck how they wrote him out like halfway through. It's like, damn, I like that guy. He was cool to have around. Even though his outfit was a little weird, though.
I mean, he'll come back.
Yeah.
He'll come back. But I won't say any more about that. It's just his character was like interesting. I like his
I like the character design of Damien Darkblood.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that he's probably immortal. Like, you can't kill him because Omni-Man would have murdered him like 5 times by now.
Yeah, I mean, he's like a demon. So, like, if you kill him, does he just respawn in hell? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's pretty much it. It's like, that's why he was just upset that he got sent back to hell. It's
He's like, damn it, I gotta wait to get back to my investigations now.
yeah, it's like, crap, I have to stay in hell. It's like, just to go
Oh,
see Lucifer's
Lucifer's
again.
gonna be mad at me. Shit.
And it's like, what are you doing here? It's like, the humans figured out how to send me back to hell. It's like, what? What if I destroyed that? It's like, they got better at technology. Bruh. Well, you better work your way up again.
Yeah.
Come on. It's like, come on, Lucifer. Please, Lucy. Please. Like, I am literally the god of all the underworld
Yeah.
and evil. I'm not going to make this easy for you.
It's like, you're going
Go
up
on.
there and helping them? What kind of demon are you? Yeah.
You're a failure of a demon, by the way.
Yeah.
This is a whole deal. This is
Yeah.
a deal I made with you. Because you're not going to say anything about that thing last night, right?
Yeah. I also really liked Robot, or Rudy.
Yeah,
Like,
Rudy.
his character arc was pretty good. I liked it a lot.
Also, can I talk about how Rudy's kind of stupid? Like, he's worse than Spock. Because he's a coward, also.
Yeah.
Because, like, hey, guys, look. We can't save the city. Let's request a tactical nuke. Let's request a tactical nuke to take out this entire city. The city is lost, just boom. And then, oh, I don't believe in any of your, like, powers. Sorry. The only thing that could save us is Omni-Man. But, like, a tactical nuke? Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like-
I mean, but like the whole thing with like the Mahler twins and him and like transferring consciousness and the little like gremlin baby thing that he was.
Yeah.
That was a pretty cool scene.
That was sad.
It was kind of like I was watching and I'm like, damn. Like, do you think that's gonna, like that kind of stuff probably exists in the future? Like clone and talk to yourself. Like when
Yeah, it's
one
like
dies, like I'm thinking like religiously. Like if you believed in a soul, which one would have it? Like, is the new is the new Rudy just like a hollow flesh being? Because like, if you believe in a soul, is it tied to the body? Like, when your body dies, does the soul leave, or is it tied to a consciousness? In which case, did they both have the soul?
Yeah, no, they both had the same consciousness. So basically, what happened is that, okay, I don't think they have the same consciousness because one of them just literally died, so he lost his consciousness. I think what happened is that they created a new consciousness, a new one, and they just made it believe all the things in that consciousness are the same things, like experiences from the old soul. Mm-hmm. So it's like more or less a really advanced way of mind control or what do you call brainwashing, like an empty body, where basically you have all the past and history, and you truly believe you are a clone of this person. You're not your own separate thing. And then when you see, it's like, damn, you're really gonna die. It's like, hey man, I did this all for you, so that way, at least part of me will be able to live the life I always wanted. But truly, he can never have that.
He'll never have it, because it's like
at least,
a different person almost,
Right. So he'll only have the satisfaction that in one of his lives, he has finally given himself the chance to live a happy life, or at least, that's the thing that he gets to die with, that he gave himself the chance, and in some ways, like, his last moments on Earth was a gift to himself.
Take the last of my Hamon, Jojo! Like that kind of serious though, yeah.
Yeah, it's the kind of same energy I got from it, and it was like, dang, he really loved himself, he wanted
to give himself that much of a good life. Like, he really wanted something better, yeah.
Or he was just so desperate that this is the best he could think of.
I mean, he was like incredibly deformed. Like he couldn't exist out of a tube.
Yeah, I mean, and then that was actually really sad. It's like, despite how being deformed, he had to keep himself in layers so no one would see who he really is.
And everyone thought he was a machine. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, it's kind of sad that he had to go out like that.
Yeah, that was one of the lower points. But like, speaking of low points, I thought Invincible wasn't that good of a show for like most of the first episode, and I'm like, pretty standard show. But then, end of the first episode, ooh boy, that really, and like I had to turn away at some points, like when he crushed that guy's head and his eyes are popping out. I'm like, ugh. Yeah, that really got me, and like,
Honestly, I was actually having a good time before he did that. I was like, okay, I can get into it. Because I just watched the Boys, like,
Yeah.
as my most recent superhero media.
yeah.
So like, I was expecting like something nice to like kind of.
Oh, it's
like,
called Invincible. This will be a nice, fun show, and then just
because it reminded me of like DC. It was like,
yeah,
okay, cool.
it's like a
We're
mock
into
DC
vibe.
Yeah,
And it's like, thank goodness. And then after that, it's like, oh no, we're getting the Boys, but DC.
but evil
like-
Superman version.
Yeah, it's like, oh my goodness. And then when I found the reason for Omni-Man's like whole genocide, it was like, well, crap, no one can beat him, really.
I mean, he's like,
Like-
one of thousands out there. You
Yeah,
know? Like
no one
if
can-
he can do that, like, you're fucked. Yeah.
Now you have like, imagine they're gonna bring multiple Omni-Mans, like,
Yeah.
What?
And he's just one soldier. He's not even like the best.
yeah.
And
it's
Mark
not-
just got he got fucked up. He couldn't even fight.
he couldn't.
And the
It's like,
scene
really-
in the subway with him holding that
Yeah.
was brutal, but it was so good too. Like oh
It's like, how many times I had to teach you this, kid?
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
the same old man mentality
Yeah.
that says reverse. It's like,
How many times
I
did I
don't-
teach you this lesson, son? Like that sort of type thing. Yeah.
honestly, it's like at the end of it, I want like Mark to come out of this like with depression. He's just like doing like the thing is he's taking it more of a stride of a hero. When really I wanted to be like, Mark, you can feel this. This is bad.
Yeah, it's like your father said, like, you're nothing to me. Your mother was a pet. The human
Yeah.
race is garbage, and so are you. I'm gonna kill you all. And it's just like, oh shit.
I gotta keep on fighting. Like he has that kind of shonen protagonist spirit, but it was broken a little bit. It was
Yeah,
just
and
kinda-
I wonder. I hope they address that in season 2 more.
Yeah.
Of like showing how he's changed, because like I know we'll be getting the same hijinks we got in season 1 in some parts.
I mean, I want some of those hijinks, but on
Yeah.
a different level. Like, what I want is Mark to kind of be a bit more like, not so much solemn, but just more of like, almost triggered whenever. That's what I would like more triggers of the past. Like, they just think
Yeah,
about.
like if there's some violence or someone's getting like torn apart, he just like rushes in to stop it without even thinking about it. You know, like it like activates something in his brain and be like, I'm not letting that happen again. You know, that'd be something to see.
And then even worse with that same thing, he's like has to contend with, I'm getting stronger and now I'm more violent. Like maybe he
Yeah,
killed
like
someone.
he just goes to see Amber and he's like, Amber, I'm done. Place a hand on her shoulder and like bruises her shoulders by touching her. Like that'd be interesting. It's like I think there's a quote from Superman being like, he's the Man of Steel in a world made of cardboard. Or something like that. Yeah, like that'd be fun to see. So, man, it's a real. I did not expect it to be that good, but it's if you haven't seen it, you've gotten spoiled a little bit. But even spoiled, it's still great. And we haven't talked about everything, like the whole thing with that stone guy and all that. That was good stuff. Yeah.
That was good. I think that was. I'm glad they made that a story beat because that would have been a missed opportunity that even current superhero movies don't do. So I'm glad they made that one.
Yeah.
I actually have been watching older stuff like Go-Go 13. Sorry, I want to kind of let this one play out because I've been playing like Come Sweet Death so much lately. Letting me down, letting me down.
I listen to this song a lot when I was kind of going through what you're going through, like a year and a half ago, around that.
I've been going through this for a lot, so it's like, whenever I feel bad, I just think of this song. I haven't even seen the end of Evangelion.
It's such a good song.
It is,
Man.
but I have to see the end of Evangelion.
I honestly prefer the anime version of the ending of Evangelion, the like inside Shinji's mind thing. I think it's better thematically. But
then whole everyone turns to orange Kool-Aid.
Yeah, big robot fights and all that. Because the last 2 episodes of the anime are just Shinji learning to accept and love himself, which is like the entire point of the show. And you know, it's come from the creator who was depressed at the time and his own thoughts towards himself and overcoming it. And I think that's really inspiring. But he made the end of the Evangelion movie because fans wanted it so bad. and he's like, "Here, take it." And like, it still has a similar message. It's just delivered through funny robot action instead, which I don't find
Yeah.
engaging. What's it called? But it's still really great, really great. But speaking of movies and stuff, I've been watching some movies. I recently watched Baby Driver. You ever seen that?
I've seen the clips of it. It seems pretty
It's
nice.
actually pretty good. I gave it an 8 out of 10 myself. It's kind of like a heist movie, but it's the getaway driver's like perspective.
Right.
And he's got this. He's got tinnitus. So all the music you hear in the movie is him with his earbuds in. And do you know what tinnitus is?
Yeah, it's like for your
The
ears.
ringing in your ears. Yeah.
Yeah.
He uses music to counteract it so he doesn't hear it. So like all the music you hear in the movie is his earbuds. And whenever the music is paused, somebody takes out his earbud, music stops. And it's without spoiling too much. It's a good like crime thriller about like he doesn't willingly want to be a getaway driver. He's in it because this like mob boss guy is like blackmailing him into it pretty much. He's doing it to get money for his like adoptive father who's deaf. He talks to him in sign language and all that, and he like falls in love with this girl, tries to get away from it. It's a good movie, and the music makes it so much better. Like it's like the music and the story are intertwined so deeply that without the other, it wouldn't work. You know, it was a really good movie. I also watched The Mitchells vs. the Machines, and I think that one I give one a 9 out of 10, but mostly because it really hit me personally. It's about the people who made Spider-Verse, so you know it's animated, of course. It looks great, but it's a movie about like a robot apocalypse, and there's this one like family who's on a road trip, and they gotta figure it out, even though they're like not a very functional family. And the movie's mostly about the daughter and her dad's relationship and how they view each other. And it kind of reminded me of me and my own dad's relationship, and it gets very touching at points. And it was a really good movie, but I think it really depends on your own family dynamic, maybe, of how you'll view it. So, good movie. But you said you've been watching stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching mostly like anime movies. Like I watched Go-Go 13, which was like the first anime that ever incorporated 3D graphics into the movie. Yeah, it was really good, but not because of the 3D graphics, because that was just trash. Like it was so bad to the point where it kind of feels more fitting of the vaporwave music video. So take it however you will, but more or less what I think I liked about it was that imagine a Japanese James Bond, but he's not as like wisecracking. He's just like so stone cold to his job. But the thing that makes him so good is that he doesn't miss. No shot. Any person that's on his kill list is going to die. The thing that we want to know is not so much like how he does it, because how he does it is what keeps you coming to watch it. But what makes it really interesting is like, why were they being sent to be killed in the first place? Or like, how do other people react to the fact that murder is about to happen, or this assassination is going to happen? And then also see how he gets out of like, in Go-Go 13, the movie in 1983, what you find out is that, I can't tell you the spoiler, I won't tell you the spoiler, but what you find out is that the person who set up the whole murder is someone you would never expect. And once you understand who sets up the murder, you understand why no matter how much they send armies after Go-Go, it will never change anything. Because the deed's already been done. Because the person got exactly what they wanted when they sent Go-Go out. And it's more of like how to deal with tragedy and loss, and how depraved people will go for vengeance. But it's a vengeance that you wouldn't expect. That's the thing. That's what makes it really good. So I can't go too much into it, but because if I did, it would just spoil like the surprise at the end. But it's really good. I recommend it if you like action anime, and also and also the soundtrack for it, baller. Like if you like jazz, great for it too.
I'm there for that.
Yeah, Go-Go 13 is good, but the TV show, they also have that. I don't think it's as interesting because you're going to get the same thing, but just in smaller packages, and after that, it just becomes boring. But there are some funny moments. Like there was like this one time where Go-Go was contracted to kill some wife's husband that was the mob boss, and the thing is, she kind of expected that she could run away with Go-Go 13 and like live a life together with like the handsome killer.
Yeah.
But she becomes so angry that he just says, like, he goes up to her whenever she tells him, like, come and run away with me, Go-Go. I want you in my life. And then just says, no. And just walks off. And then she's like, how dare you? How dare you, Go-Go? You better marry me. You better be part of me. And, like, Go-Go doesn't have any of that.
Yeah.
I won't spoil how he solves it, but it's just kind of like, wow. They kind of make it funny, but it's almost misogynistic, I would say, in terms of like how it portrays women. But if you can get around the 80s aesthetic of that, which I think kind of adds character to the time it's in, it's still pretty good. Like it's a really good show. I mean, not a good show, it's a really good movie.
Apparently, the manga of it started running in 1968, so I think it's gonna have some outdated values there.
Oh yeah, no, it's like the third or the second longest running manga in the world. It's still going.
What is the long? Actually, I gotta look that up.
I think it's either that or One Piece.
Manga. Well, I think One Piece it's long in general, not the longest running. No, I don't want the amount of volumes. I want them by year. Like the longest running by year.
Yeah. Oh, Go-Go 13 is number 2.
What's number 1?
With the number 1 is a manga called Dokaben, which is a story about sumo wrestlers? Or no.
This looks like sumo wrestlers, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, but it said it started in 1972.
Oh, maybe it's the one, but no, it's the most volumes.
Oh yeah, because Go-Go's been running since '68. That's
right.
53 years now. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's long. It's.
How do you make stories for 53 years?
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, then again, there was. Let's see. Well, actually, there's another manga that's very close to that. Saze-san, which was running from 1946 to 1994, but that's done. There was another one called Chisai Koi no Monogatari. Wait. Is this a Monogatari series? Can't be. Huh?
I think I've heard that name before.
Let me check this out. It's Google. Give me the name of this. Sorry guys. Nope, this is not the Monogatari series. This is another manga. This is actually the third oldest running manga, and it is the longest running manga to this date. It's still being published, and it's also the third longest.
What's it called?
Go-Go 13.
Oh.
Yeah, Go-Go 13 is the oldest running manga to this date, and it's the second largest in volume, and it's almost on par to becoming the one that is the longest in length that it's still being published. It's on track. It's probably going to be number 1 pretty soon if the guy keeps on going, but...
How old is the creator?
That is Tako Saito. Is he dead? No, he's 84. He's still alive.
Because I'm on his Wikipedia page, he doesn't even have a picture. It's just a portrait of Sato drawn by a fan is his Wikipedia picture.
Wait, he's been active doing this since 1955 till today. My God.
Tako Saito is a Japanese manga artist, although he rejects the term and considers his work gekiga. which translates as dramatic pictures. It's with a cinematic style and more mature themes aimed at adult audiences. Coined in 1957. Damn, this guy is the boomer of manga.
Dude, but he's like probably the godfather of seinen anime.
Honestly, yeah. Man,
Like,
I'll
he does-
definitely check out that series now. I mean, something that old?
It is old. Like, he just goes everywhere around the world. Go-Go 13's like, the thing about him is that he never misses. He is always going, no matter who he has target on, no matter how unrealistic it is. Like, it gets to the point where you think it's like JoJo ridiculous. Like, okay, in one scene, the guy has to shoot and kill a former Nazi officer that's living big in, like, LA. And the thing is, how do you kill the guy? Because there's 3 buildings in the way of him getting a lined up shot that he has access to with a sniper rifle. So he needs to shoot through 3 high-rise buildings and land one perfect
What?
shot into his head. One shot. He only gets one chance, and also the cops are on him, so they're trying to figure out where he is while he sets up this shot. But he has the same face. He's just like, doesn't even care. He just knows he's going to make it. He's a pro. 3 high-rise buildings. And the thing is, he never takes more than the amount of bullets he needs to do the job. Every bullet that he needs whenever he's lining up a sniper rifle is exactly the amount. At points where he would only bring 1 bullet to do
my
like.
god.
It's not kidding.
He's like the guy who like walks into like a card game tournament, lays down a winning hand first try. He's like, yeah, those are my 5 cards. That's all I brought. What are you gonna do? And it's like the other player's already like negative 30 hit points, like already dead.
It's just
Oh
like,
man.
my god, the guy already, he just comes in. He's an assassin. There's nothing. Honestly, if I knew Go-Go 13 was on me, I was just like, okay, better get my last.
Just make
wishes
it
out.
easy. You just walk out, and be like just scream in the sky, "I'm here!" and then a bullet will appear from below you and pierce your skull. Yeah.
No, like honestly, if you go out and you just tell him like, look, Go-Go, I already know I'm gonna die. Can I just like do these final things before I die? It's like, do it now. It's like, thank you for giving me the chance to write this out a letter to my daughter. It's like, yeah, it's okay. I'm doing my job. Done.
Yeah, man. He's like Agent 47, but like mixed with like a fucking JoJo character.
No, yeah, that's a good one. That's a really
Yeah.
good one. He's a JoJo 47.
Yeah, man. I'll definitely check that out. So you said the movies are the ones to watch?
Yeah, it's 1983 movie, Go-Go 13, The Professional.
Yeah, I see that here on the Wikipedia page. I'll definitely check that out. That sounds fun. Yeah.
Mhm.
So.
Oh, there's only one thing I would say though. There is a rape scene, but it's not in the rape scene in the sense of like you would think it's endorsing rape. It's like while you're watching it, you actually feel like this is tragic because the guy that is doing this is like he looks like a lizard, like a snake. So it looks like a monster. Like
Does like Go-Go kill him at least?
No, he is doing his own thing. This is just to show how bad the villain is. Like he would allow this to happen.
Okay.
So, like the guy was like, I'm willing to do anything to kill Go-Go. And he will let a woman get raped just to do that.
Wow. Man. Ugh. The next song I have lined up is something I listen to every Friday night. It's from Yakuza 0. One of my favorite songs, Friday Night.
Oh, yeah?
Because in game, because it's in the 80s, you can go to a disco club and dance. And there's a ton of songs. This is my favorite one. So.
I have a new favorite Friday night song. Just because I found out this meme called Femboy Friday. And this
You
song
sent me that, yeah.
that was so funny. I don't know why, but it was one of the first songs we played called C-Lab Pie, and I just like it because it's like a trap remix of a like mariachi beat, and it just sounds so good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Speaking of traps, I've been watching Scooby-Doo
Oh, yeah?
with my brother. And the Scooby-Doo, what was it called? Scooby-Doo. Is it Mystery Incorporated? Is that the
Yeah.
series I'm watching with him? Yeah,
Oh,
that's
I
what
love
I'm
Mystery
watching.
Incorporated. I love
Yeah,
that
it's
one.
actually good because it has like a story.
Mhm.
We just got done with season 1 and 2, and man, there were some twists in there. It's actually pretty good, and like the characters have characterization. Like, you know, it's good. Like if you're looking for a Scooby-Doo series to watch it. Because it's not like the episodic stuff of most other stuff where it's like when an episode happens they never talk about it again. Like I'll give you an example. In one of the early episodes, Daphne gets like kidnapped or whatever, like usual. And Fred is like, why do I feel emotions right now about that? Because like he always thinks I'm supposed to be the big tough guy, not feel anything. I'm supposed to be a man, all that sort of stuff. And by the end of the episodes, he's like, Daphne, I have something to tell you. And she's like, yeah? It's like, I'm not a man anymore. And she's like, what? And he's like,
Oh, the transition.
I have feelings, I have emotions. I don't care if that doesn't make me a man anymore. I care about you. And she's like, Fred, essentially being like, you fucking idiot.
Wow.
And then like their relationship actually develops, and by the end of the first season, they're gonna get engaged. And it's like, but then they go through this whole middle of the season like breakup thing where she like sings us like she acts as bait for like a monster who wants to take out this like all-girl rock band, and she pretends to be the lead singer and sings a song about like I'm stuck in your trap of love and shit like that because Fred makes all the traps with the monsters, and it's actually good, you know. And another thing is Velma and Shaggy are dating at the beginning of the series. But then midway through the first season, she's like, okay, listen, you need to choose me or the dog. Because you can't have both of us at the same time. And he decides, you know what, man? I prefer Shaggy. And she's like, what? And then, like, for the rest of the first season, they're just at each other's throats. And, like, they're all three of them are just, like, hating each other. And it's fun to see them.
Wait, Shaggy said he preferred Shaggy?
No, he preferred Scooby. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'd say that would be even more basic.
That'd be even more of like a big brain play. Like, I only need myself, man. Like, whoa.
Scooby's like for it, but also conflicted. Like, what does this mean for me?
Like, Raggy, what do you mean by this, Raggy? That's a terrible Scooby-Doo. Jesus Christ. Raggy?
I can't do it.
What about like Shaggy? Can you give me like a Shaggy?
Like Scoob, I have to say, I prefer me.
Like Scoob, I'm taking the black pill, man. Like I don't need any anymore, man.
Wow, he took the black pill.
Okay, you know it's the thing that's Shaggy impressions. My brother does a great one, but he also does a great Carl Weezer from Jimmy Neutron. It's like, Jimmy, your mom's really hot, Jimmy.
Dude, okay, wait. Who do you think is a bigger MILF hunter, Cat Killing or Carl Weezer?
Oh, Carl, without a doubt. Dude was out there for Jimmy's mom. He had no shame. Like his two greatest loves in life were llamas and Jimmy's mom.
You're right. You made the right choice. I do remember Carl would like go up to his mom and be like, "Hey,"
and give her a flower and be like, "Miss Neutron, do you want to go on a date with me?" And she's like, "Oh, Carl, that's sweet, but I'm married." And then Hugh busts in and be like, "Jimbo, my boy, you ever heard of these thing called ducks?" And he's like, has duck figurines. God, that's such a good show sometimes. Like Jimmy Neutron, I didn't really like him as a person. He's like a stuck-up asshole. Like he was way too like I have big brain power. But all the side characters were fun.
Yeah.
I don't think the only person I was a bit annoyed of was Sheen.
Yeah, he has like a very one-note personality, where it's like, I'm Sheen, I'm kind of just an annoying random guy. And like
sometimes he's smart, but most of the time he's just like annoying and like just there to like help out Jimmy with some things. But like
he'd be like
really,
a guinea pig, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Cindy was fun, like, looking back, but
she's mostly just, like, nag.exe.
Yeah, she's just nagging, but sometimes she can be useful. Carl was always just funny. Like, he's just funny and useful and also gross as a person sometimes.
Yeah.
But, us, I'm trying to think. No, it was just like the interactions with the side characters whenever Jimmy does stuff. I don't think it's like any one character besides Carl that.
It was
I
just
really
the
liked.
like dynamic, you know. Of all
Yeah.
that. And like fun side characters like a Bobby, like that weird like Eastern European little fat
Oh,
kid.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that like Bobby. Like I don't. That's the only thing I remember of him. Is him saying his own name, like a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Oh man, that show was good. But like going back, like I don't ever want to rewatch it because that just like make me probably realize like, damn, the show ain't that good.
No, we
Like,
want to keep our
I
rose-tinted
want
glasses.
to keep those childhood memories in there safe, you know. Although one show I can go back and always love is SpongeBob. Seasons 1 through 3 are still fucking great.
They're good. They're
Like-
just timeless.
Like going back and watching that one episode where they like painted Mr. Krabs' house, and like
Oh, yeah.
and like you see gifs of it all the time, like different shit. The one of my favorite episode is like Patrick walks up to the computer and goes, "We have technology." He grabs the computer and goes, "Oh!" And it's like it didn't work. Oh man, SpongeBob was great.
It was.
Oh man.
I feel kind of tired, so
Yeah, same.
I think it's a good time for us to make our closing statements. For the
Wait,
pod.
I'll get one thing.
All right.
It's a video and a piece of music in one. I do this with my brother a lot. But you can go ahead and do your closing statement. I'll put it on after.
I, E. John, am part of the Illuminati, unironically. Absolutely. Why do you think I do this podcast? So I can like inform you of my plot of taking over the world. It's simple. First, I get you guys to believe that I'm a charismatic, good person that likes to do random things and talk to friends and has a social life. Yes, that's a life together. And then after that, I get you to believe that really all the things that are happening right now are actually all part of my plan. Global warming, part of it. The vaccine, my plan too. Give me something else that's bad lately.
Chemtrails, GMOs.
Yeah.
Barack Obama himself.
Barack Obama, Donald Trump, all my plan. It's all part of my plan. And why am
COVID-19. And you
COVID-19.
engineered it yourself.
Yeah, I engineered it myself.
It's made of your
But
bones,
then,
Arrow.
but then, here's the thing. It was corrupted because I'm not part of the main plan. This was taken up by my superiors, and they made it viral.
No.
So that way I could. So the whole world got it instead of just the people I had planned for. So now, my real reason of telling you all this is simple. Will you please support me on Patreon so that way I can help me get through?
According to YouTube statistics, only 20% of you are subscribed.
Yeah, only 20% of you are subscribed.
You know, it's quick and easy and free, and you know, you can unsubscribe anytime you want.
Please, I need some subscriber money, please.
We don't even earn any. We don't have AdSense. We don't earn anything. from
We don't
it.
even have AdSense.
No, and like half our videos get like demonetized.
Yeah, so it's like, what's the,
What's the
honestly?
point?
Hey, you know, I'm glad YouTube just decides to like demonetize them instead of like
Taking us
outright-
down. Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's because we're
appreciate
too
that.
small for them to care.
I appreciate Susan Wojcinski. I doubt this will be anywhere useful for you or profitable. Maybe in like 10 years, one of us becomes big, or not.
You know, I want to end the Tangent podcast today with a song and dance. Specifically, if you look on the jukebox, do the Mario.
Oh shoot! Wait.
Mario, swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go do the Mario. Take one step, and then again, come on and do the Mario all together now.
You got
it. Do the Mario. Do the Mario, swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go do the Mario. Take one step. And then again, let's go to the Mario all together now. Come on now, just like that. And here comes the stinger, right at the end.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Geek!
I haven't seen that show.
Oh,
in ages.
man.
It's been like I think 6 years, 7 years.
Man, that's one of my favorite memes. I love that so much.
It's funny because I actually seen the show before it became a meme, so it's kind of like, all right, cool. We're just all doing the Mario dance today.
Yeah, do the Mario.
It's funny because I still have a Mario hat too. So it's
Yeah, you do. I've seen it. Yeah.
Why didn't I put it on? Oh,
Next time.
next time.
But thanks for coming to the Tangent Podcast. Hope you enjoyed us talking about whatever shit we felt like talking about.
Yeah.
It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Next time we'll talk about that I made jam today.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you'll talk about that. You made jam in the past. So.
I made jam in the past.
Yeah.
It's really easy. Just go online, search up like John Weissman.
You just get some. Jam. And
No,
you buy it.
Yeah, you just buy it, or you can do it the hard way and like get a bunch of fruit and sugar.
And you get a bunch of fruit and you just slap it together. Jam.
Yeah, just
there you
like
go.
done. Put on your bread. I saved you guys like $3. I'm going like Welch's. You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Come back next time to hear more of his Illuminati plan.
Big brain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also,
Alright.
I better go praise Monopoly Joker. I had to like give him my cash advance.
Yep.
Praise be.
He's the one who let COVID loose.
Hey, you're not supposed to say that. He's gonna come for you.
Oh
Man.
shit, he's coming! He's breaking down the door!